Hey guys, it's StingKnight. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to kill the first boss of the newest Criterion Dungeon, another Mount Rokkon. I will also be including how you can kill the first set of trash mobs slash ads, as you'll most likely wipe quite a few times on those too. So let's jump right in. First thing you want to do is pull the closest ads. You want to focus on the big ad here, as he will be the one casting mechanics. Avoid the Yuki ad that looks like it goes in the middle until you killed all the other ads first, because what we will do is one-shot everyone. Immediately after you pulled the ads, the big ad will cast Disciples of Levin, which is a circle AoE around him, so just walk away from that. And also be careful of the smaller ads, which will cast a frontal cone AoE. Shortly after, the big ad will cast Barreling Smash, which targets one player in the party and will render that player's HP to 1. So if you're a healer, get ready to heal the person who's been targeted by this mechanic. The next mechanic will be the Master of Levin, which is a donut AoE on the big ad, and at the same time, the smaller ads will also cast their frontal cone AoE. The big ad will then cast Barreling Smash once again, same thing. Just make sure to heal up the person being targeted by this mechanic, and it will be followed up by Howl, which is just a raid-wide AoE. It doesn't do that much damage, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Right about when you have finished killing the first set of ads, the Yuki ad in the middle will cleave the arena in half, either the west side or the east side. Just keep an eye out so you're able to dodge immediately. The big ad here will cast Twister, which is just a party stack. And also the smaller ads will occasionally cast Tornadoes, which basically just drops a puddle on a random player. Shortly after, the big ad will cast Crosswind, which is a knockback. You want to either face towards the wall so you don't get knocked to anywhere, or you can pop anti-knockback. Just be careful you don't attract the ghost ad in the middle, otherwise you will wipe the group. Next, the big ad will cast Scythe Tail, which is just a circle AoE around himself, and then there will be another Twister, just another party stack once again. Finally, the Yuki ad, he doesn't really do any mechanics, so you can kill him without much thinking. Now, once we're onto the boss, the first mechanic that you need to worry about is the Storm Cloud Summons, which technically is a combination of 3 mechanics. The first thing you want to identify is how many of the red clouds are on the arena. Each red cloud represents an AoE that is about to go off, and for them to go off, they will be hit by the line AoE that also spawns at the same time in the middle. Pay attention to which line AoE in the middle spawns first. For this pattern, you want to be on the same side as the single red cloud where the first line AoE spawned. And once it goes off, you basically just follow the single red cloud AoE. Here's another simple variation where the clouds are spawned all over the place. You want to look for where the line AoE is and stand on the opposite side of the single cloud once again. The main difference for this one is that you have to be away from the middle, otherwise you will get hit by the AoE. And if you see there are only 3 clouds on the map, this is going to be the hard variation, and make sure to pop sprint for this. These AoEs will basically cleave 1/2 of the arena. So you gotta be far away from the first cloud that is going to be hit by the line AoE. You will notice that there are 2 clouds that are closer to each other than the third one. What will happen is when the first line AoE hits it, it will go off. Subsequently, it will also hit the other cloud, causing that to go off. Next up is a tank buster. Make sure that nobody is standing in front of the boss's hitbox, otherwise you will also die. Immediately after, the boss will cast Slither, which is a rear cone AoE. Noble Pursuit. The boss will dash through these rings that he spawns, and it will do a cardinal AoE on the arena. For this variation, you want to stand on the opposite side of the diagonal ring close to the boss. Here is another variation where you can stand a lot closer to the south side of the arena because the boss will always end up on the south side. Look for the diagonal ring close to the boss and then go to the south of that location. And if you pay attention to where my tank is, that is the safe spot for this variance. The next mechanic is called Unnatural Wail. Everyone will be given a spread marker, as well as at least 1 DPS will have a stack marker, at least 1 healer or tank will have a stack marker. So for the partners, you want to make sure to pair DPS with DPS, tank with healer. For spread, I would do something that looks like this: melee on the inside, healer on the outside. Immediately, the boss will cast Haunting Cry, which will spawn 4 ghosts, in which you will need to find a safe spot where you can perform your stacks and spreads. Now, it is actually quite easy. The safe spot is always where the ghost is looking inside towards the boss, past the halfway point of the arena, in a diamond shape. Once you find your safe spot, you will perform the spread or stack, and then a second set of ghosts will spawn, and here once again you will perform either spread or stack, whichever one did not happen first. Lightning bolts, I suppose it is what people would call skill check, because there really isn't much to talk about. You basically just try your best to dodge your line AoEs, and it is a lot easier to dodge these lines on the outer edge than towards the middle. Next is Unnatural Wail once again. For the spread positions, I recommend having supports up north and DPS south, with the melees being on the west side and range being on the east side. This time it will be combined with either Vortex of the Thunder Eye or Eye of the Thunder Vortex. With Vortex of the Thunder Eye, make sure to start inside the boss's hitbox and then move far away from the boss. If you get Eye of the Thunder Vortex, you basically just do the opposite thing. You want to start out from the outside and then move inside the boss's hitbox. Next is Haunting Cry. Each player will have a ghost tethered to them. The ghost will constantly cast AoEs, so you want to drag those ghosts away from the tower that will spawn shortly after. If you have a red marker on top of your head, you want to be away from the towers and from any other player, as at the end you will have a large AoE being casted on you. If you do not have the red marker on top of your head, you want to drag the ghost around to give yourself enough space that at the end of it you can walk into the tower. Next is Thunder Vortex. You want to be inside the boss's hitbox. Followed up by another tank buster. Do not stand in front of the boss at all. And then Slither, which is a rear cone AoE. Next is Rokujo Revel. It's going to be the exact same as the first mechanic you see. It most likely will be a different variant, so keep that in mind. Shortly after, the boss will cast Lightning Bolt 2, which is the same as the first one, except this one, the lines are a lot thicker, so it's going to be a lot harder for you to maintain your melee uptime. I would suggest just standing outside on the edge of the map to give yourself more space to dodge. Finally, there will be another Unnatural Wail combined with Vortex of the Thunder Eye or Eye of the Thunder Vortex. Then it will be the Enrage. So if you made it this far, you're very close to killing it. The DPS check is non-existent for the normal version, so if you not die as much, not get hit by every mechanic, then you should be able to kill it pretty easily. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you found the video helpful. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if it did, and subscribe for more future FF14 content. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.